You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk. Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the Pallid Knight shakes the earth at your feet. You have returned to Bareth's realm, your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the God of Death. You can't be certain, but you think you might see the barest hint of a smile tugging at the edges of the Pallid Knight's lips.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned. Intriguing.
The Pallid Knight stares past you, pensive.
While attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you. In the space beside Bareth, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga. Each of them eyeless. They are Wal.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages. And we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Some things must be lost to be found again. You knew that once, when you buried my scroll beneath the earth in Black Meadow. But it seems you have forgotten. We have read the book of your life, Watcher. It is heavy with the weight of your choices, and its pages are not unmarred by the blood of others. You reap, but on a smaller scale. We see between the strings of the world, and Aeothus is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Bareth's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Aeothus is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves and the rush of wind through treetops.
Hunger will drive the most pathetic of beasts to desperate acts of bravery. If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Aeothus does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Bareth's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks, and form the vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man made half of metal and half of ruined skin stands before you. The rounded metal of a well-worn shield, makes up most of his skull, his right eye socket, and jaw. His mouth is pulled forever into a half-grimace.
If Aeothas has something foolish planned, perhaps we can turn him from that path and set him down a more productive one.
Abaddon's words crash and screech together, like long steel gears forced to movement for the first time in centuries.
Abaddon speaks with a child's naivety. He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him, if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Aeora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him, but I will bear down upon Aeothas with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
The death of thousands now could prevent the death of millions later.
Dark, inky tears fall from Andra's eyes.
Sacrifices of the few protect the futures of the many. You cannot let your petty, mortal feelings blind you to the urgency of the dilemma Aeothas has thrust upon us.
You will mind upon whose ground you tread.
The Pallid Knight watches you with keen, predatory eyes. The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the Pallid Knight stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Aeothas care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts. Aeothas seeks a slate wiped clean, freedom from the endless revolutions of Barath's wheel. The final emancipation of the countless stolen mortal lives the gods hoard within themselves.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Mogren tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Bareth's realm, and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
I shall.
Reckon that's the first time I ever bore witness to my own demise. It was
Not pretty. Never woke with such a driving need for reaping before. It's making my hands shake. It did for a while, but then it wore off. All this essence I've gathered. It soaked the blessing right up, left me with hardly none. A dream from gone is what it was. I just ain't sure yet what the symbolism means. Seems the more souls I gather, the better I see Gone's will. And the less I get a wink of sleep. Night or day, sleep or waking. It's getting harder to tell what's real from what's just yet to come. There is something I'm meant to do, though, once I gather enough souls. Us Gonites, we're supposed to shepherd lost souls, not just gather them. The harvesting's only the first part. If I were to dump the souls, it might make me dream less, like before. Or, darn it, who knows? Maybe it'd just make it all worse. Either way, I've got to find my purpose. Will you help me, Watcher? I was hoping you might would. Sometimes I feel like, with you by my side, I can stand against gods. It'll need to be a potent source to overpower the draw of my lantern. It's gotta be luminous, for sure. That's one problem solved. But what about the itty-bitty issue regarding the god of rebirth not actually being in hell? The souls will make it safely, but who's to see to their proper reseeding? This is a huge risk of Aora's balance. You really trust Malgrin not to rebirth Aethasians as warriors of the flame? Think Galawain won't be greedy? Gone aside, the god's past actions don't instill me with the greatest confidence. Normally, I'd simply safekeep him until the god of rebirth could return to hell. But... put my flock into the hands of experimenters? How can we trust they'd be successful? Or hell, even to be well-meaning in their intent? Just the thought's making my shoulders twitch. You sure about this? You're right. What if there's no one left to release the souls from the lantern after the darkness has come and Aora's recovered? The gods will survive, but Kithkind may not. Guess that settles it then. Find me an animancer, and we'll try it.
Here we are again, Watcher. I thought we had seen the last of each other after the Hollowborn crisis. I must admit, accompanying you to Twin Elms worked out well for both of us. Belfetto, you only have to ask. Que? Menea was a good companion and a skilled warrior. But her imagination got the better of her. It appears to have gotten the better of you as well. After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's Bells. The trade agreement we brokered with the Unamenfath was quite lucrative for the Republics. The Deerwood was still recovering from Waidwin's legacy and was in no position to compete. The Duke's Bells was so pleased with my performance that I was made the personal guard of the Duquess Spirento. Spirento is the most beautiful of all the Republics, and though I should not admit this, I cherish the Duquess above all other Duke's Bells. Still, our profit came at the expense of the Deerwood. The fruit of victory was not so sweet knowing that the Deerwood suffered because of my actions. Well, even if he has taken a special interest in you, I doubt he is any less mad than I predicted. And I doubt Bareth and the other gods will consider your debt to them fulfilled. Merla, all of it. But this is just the same as before, no? The gods are playing their games and leaving us to settle the wager. We need to find a way to turn the tables on them, you and I. Diverus. Where I am assigned is of no concern to me. But I do think the Deadfire can be profitable for the Republics. If the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them. Shoti. She is a child in thought, a child in action. If she wants to live in a fantasy, that is her choice. But she is so easily wounded by ideas counter to her own. Are Red Saren's truly so sheltered? Whatever her problems are, they are hers. If she insists on trying to make them mine, she will end up hurt in more than one way.
Captain. Or should I call you the Watcher of Cadnua? I confess that title. Something of a mouthful. Captain it is, then. When you took me aboard, you neglected to mention that you were in pursuit of a rampaging deity. I appreciate the apology, but it's unnecessary. The Blue Colossus may be one of the defining events of the age. I count myself fortunate to bear witness to your investigation. Speaking of, let us return to it, yeah?
What are we standing around for?
Great and terrible things are at work. And once again, you seem to be in the middle of it. The Rauataians we passed will doubtless spread word of what you've done in Hasongo. But others will want to know what you've seen. They'll look to you for answers. Now, this is no small matter. Don't you worry what will come next? What events you might move forward? It reminds me of the question that drew me to the Deadfire. The one I've been avoiding. I promised to tell you what I was doing among the Animancers at Port Marge. As you may have guessed, I was observing them, gathering information on the various Animancy operations in the region. Yes, and how better to draw them out. Animancy is a subject of particular interest to the Leaden Key. Through it, I hope to pick up the trail. Merely a first step. After that incident in Old Valia, I thought more about the Leaden Key and its particular composition. It's existed for over 2,000 years. Say what you will about its motives and methods, but that's an impressive tenure. That's when I realized how short-sighted I'd been. To think I could undo the Leaden Key without understanding how it works. By studying its origins, of course. Fight and spur the lad. I found references to an ancient Leaden Key cabal in the Deadfire. Possibly one of the oldest, if accounts are credible. And they appear to have been working independently, without direct intervention from Theos, for almost 2 millennia. There's the challenge. Most sources refer to them as the Painted Masks. But I haven't met anyone here who knows that name. I don't know where in the Deadfire they are exactly, but I was hoping we could look for them together. That's all I ask.
What's on your mind?
Watcher, tell me what's on your mind? My folks, you might say they're not your typical Aethasians. Sure, they cling to the light more than the darkness. But the war, it touched my family. And it changed them. Killed some. Not that I remember firsthand. The others toughened, turned survivors. That much I saw with my own eyes, even you. Of course, there were few and spread out. Most don't keep to temples. Soul shepherding requires travel. My aunt's the one who taught me about the cycle of life and death, how everything happens in stages. Whether forwards or backwards, from seed to rot to rebirth again, it's all just states of existence and balance. See? That's how I first learned about the slice of Gone within Aethys. After that, I read all the doctrines of Gone, anything and everything I could get my hands on. The 12 books of Nearwith, plus the epistles from the minor prophets. A lot of them aren't a part of today's canonization, but that doesn't mean they're wrong. It's tradition for the youngest born to take up the priesthood of Aethys. Well, I did it in my own way. No need to fiddle-foot around. They're there in my head when I sleep. And sometimes I can taste them on the back of my tongue like a smear of grit. Happens when I take in a particularly volatile soul. You need me, I'll be 2 whoops and a holler away.
Agrasima, Casita, for taking me on.
I should come clean about something, Captain. What? No. I mean, what? Atsura didn't set me loose just so I could stay busy. Fact of the matter is, he gave me a job to do. I've got this stack of missives I need to deliver. Noble errand, right? The company has a lot of people working away from headquarters, and Atsura trusted me to get these in the right hands. I hope that isn't a problem. A bit of everything. Shipping manifests, requisitions for supplies, work orders. Mostly work orders. You wouldn't believe how much paperwork it takes to run a navy. Fair enough. We're bound to run into my contacts one way or another, so don't lose any sleep over it. This one's bound for Harama, an acquaintance, good sailor. He's somewhere, and these are for Tuaha, an old friend stationed in Port Mage. You meet some strange types in the Navy. I've got some answers. Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots. After they emigrated to Rauatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. We were also curiosities. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana, it was an education in patience. Growing up in the Ranganui's shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Funny how the gods toss things together. Kana came back from the Deerwood with a head full of ideas about Rauatai's expansion. Getting out from under the academics suited him. I never knew he could be so political. More than his sister ever could be. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it. You kept him alive in any case, while he wandered the lands in search of stories. I do with bullets what Kana did with words. Just in case you were wondering, the comparison ends there. I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the Royal Eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds. Stinkfeathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since. Uh-oh. That's his "I'm hungry and you're wasting my time" face. Better step back, Captain.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
This where Gaunt stormed through? At least the docks are still intact.
Ah, isn't this charming?
I shall make it.
I've got it. Not happening.
Extinguished or crushed. Us all, Defiler. You are not mistaken. I am but one of Margaren's elite champions, birthed from her flames, soon reunited in glory. Damned Reaper of souls and God of lies, Margaren's most foul enemy. Servants of the Defiler God, damn you!
Well, that was worth doing, even if we got nothing in return. At least this means they're all dead, right? All right, but I'm keeping what's in. Guess I wasn't so hard.
Reckon this is what happens when you try to keep a god from enacting his plans.
As you like.
Well, as long as I don't get caught. Guess that wasn't so hard.
I shall make it so. I fear not.
Kith trespasses in the goddess's maw? But how? You must seek to follow in your Defiler god's footsteps. You will not, for I will smite you where you stand!
Hold, Sega! I would speak to this filthy minion of the wretched god Aethys before you char his bones to dust.
Rakir, move! We cannot allow these intruders to live!
I hope your weapons are as keen as your wit, both for your sake and mine, puny kith. What would you have of me, puny kith? Our duty is foremost to Margaret. We guard the moor to its fiery end. First, we recover the wounded and their weapons, drag them into the Jagged Keep. And then, we will kill a god.
All who neared the intruder god were gutted until extinguished. You think your soul could last even half so long as Rathoon's?
Maybe the kiths will last longer. Only Margren's shrine with our Jagged Keep can lead you to the Defiler God. Kith, if Margren wishes you to face him, surely she will fire the way. Second, help me with the bodies, but this time gentle your grip.
It can't be helped.
Should we be concerned about that?
Ain't the volcanoes in Mogren's Teeth supposed to be inactive? I got a bad feeling this one's waking up. They're with Gone now.
Looks like trouble.
Crave.
Ain't you got the decency to die?
Yes. I shall make it so.
You spend your whole life thinking you're a giant. And one day that fella shows up at your fortress.
That was awfully profound.
You must gather your party. Before venturing forth.
Scurriers in my keep! Make ready to be crushed, vermin of Aeothas! Nay, I will not risk the spread of the Defiler's filth during this time of crisis. May Margren forever burn your soul in agony. You'll find no mercy in the Everflame.
And where do you think I shall. So.
Well, as long as I don't guess that wasn't so hard.
As you like.
You might. It's interesting.
I shall make it so. I see the wits of their eyes.
Yes!
Missed.
What is it? What's that bally thing is? Well, as long as I don't get caught. All done. Well, as long as I don't get caught. Guess that wasn't so hard.
Not going anywhere like this. This is futile. Yeah. Very well. Damn the lad's aim. That's not it.
Oh, good.
That must have hurt.
It's beyond. I shall make it.
Harvest is here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Oh, gee.
This thing isn't doing the job.
As you like.
On it.
All right, that one felt more serious. This does not sound good.
I can see the fury burning in her eyes.
The Brentfist tarries for too long. Yet only she is fit to fire the shrine. Go and ensure that she returns readily with the Ancients.
It would be my honor, Bathor.
Return in victory, Rekir.
Yes, Bathor.
And remember, you are a bold one to attack us in our own seat of power. I hope you are prepared to die here, for I will soon prostrate you on the altar of Margaret and burn you for her glory. Aethys deserves death, not words. The Defiler God has brought war to Ashen Moor in revenge against Margaret and her Rathum. What is your relation to Aethys, if not to act with him against Margaret? Then you two have cause against Aethys, as we do. We are prepared to assault Aethys at the base of the moor. The shrine will lower us to the sacred Ardra Pillar, where the embodied god now gluts himself. guard the sacred depths of the maw. None may freely enter. Thus the shrine lies dormant, locked without the talk of Bethacton.
Did you follow that?
So what you're saying is, we need a sacred torque to unlock the shrine, to go deeper into the maw?
I don't suppose you have this talk on hand?
Did you expect to answer a riddle, then navigate a labyrinth to access the way? Our High Priestess. The Brenthis is the talk's rightful bearer, but she has yet to return to the keep. Our first defense against the Defiler god lies in shambles, so the Brenthis has hastened to summon our ancient ally to battle. She is deep within the lair of the Ancient, west of the keep. When she returns to us with the dragon, we will fire the shrine and strike down the Defiler. Return our Brenthis and the talk, and we will let you join us in glorious battle indeed. To die for Markon is the greatest honor. We live only to protect the goddess, and to serve her will. And Margaret has obliterated Aethys before, has she not? Bravery burns within your blood. It stokes my respect. I approve of this venture. Until the Brenthis returns with the Ancient, my warriors will remain restless and ill at ease. Rakir, go to the lair of the Ancient and carry out my command. You will permit this Kith to assist you, presuming he can muster the strength.
It will be done. You have my word, Bathor.
Kith, should you return the talk, and our priestess along with it to the shrine, you will have proven your worth by serving Margren's cause. And you, Segroth, lay a protection upon the Kith. The lair of the Ancient is a deadly place, deadened to a great dragon. This shall safeguard you against the fire and fumes that fill the caverns.
Say, that's great. Now all we gotta worry about is the dragon.
Tell me we aren't gonna fight them all at once. Better yet, what if we didn't fight them at all?
I shall make it. As you like.
Hey, watch out. mockery. I'm not going anywhere like this.
Let's go.
Say your prayers! Not sure I can. Supposing this volcano blows, what are the odds any of us but Gone survives it?
We should move quickly.
That smell. I hope it's just their cook burning the meat.
This place smells and feels like hell in the stories I'm... Rest now, warrior. Your soul is safe with me.
My brethren, world.
If that ain't a creature born of my nightmares, I don't know what is.
Who comes now to stoke the flames of chaos further? Have I not yet feasted enough? I suppose I can make room for another.
No, that can't be healthy.
Just realized how lucky we are to have never run across a sewer dragon.
Blessed and terrible Ancient One, the Bathor sends me in search of...
You trespass within my den, and now you think to thieve my treasures? Tell me, what riches will I glean from your corpse? What fine baubles am I soon to pick from my teeth? What would you know of honor and how it relates to a being such as me? The Rathun are fools, devoted blindly to Margren. They never worshipped me, as I deserve. Take it! I have no care for the talk or the corpse. You think to ride me, the great firestorm in the moor, to meet a blustering god? If the Rathun could not tame me, why should a little wretch like you fare better? I shall tell you this much, if only to keep you from my wings. Your path to Aethys lies through Margren, through her shrine within the Rathun's keep. Igniting Margren's shrine lowers it into the moor, so that a Brenthis may worship before the Ardra pillar. See? Should I believe the wretched words of a trespasser in my den? Even were it so, the fire feeds me. It can cause me no harm. Perhaps you speak the truth, and such may come to pass. Only fools die fighting the gods. I have lived for eons, and I will live for eons longer. I fly.
I shall make it so.
It is not in pleasure, not for Mother Margaret. I should have listened when she said nothing, but I was willing to die to reach the Everflame, to sacrifice them and everything to ash, to vanquish the Defiler. And I am burning, but not in the flame, not with honor and eternity, but for a moment. I am disgraced. Who will lay the talk before the Mother to fire the way? Who is left? Who will guard the sacred spire, the Mother's mind? Who will descend the shrine to the Defiler's god's face? Not these hands that are ashes sifting on a breath that is a last sigh of a wretchedly snuffed life. Not me and mine. Now she who was blackened and befouled and forsaken by the flames, forsaken by Margran!
Rest easy now, priestess. I'll harvest your soul and your torment too.
My brethren, Vald!
Yeah?
I shall. Oh?
To return in victory from the lair of the Ancient. I misjudged you. You are one of a kind among Kith. You are without the Brenthis, so I must assume she has returned to the Everflame. What became of the Ancient? Jordafellas? Triumph will be nigh impossible without her.
What makes you think something happened to her?
Oh, who needs some old lizard anyway?
You will answer me, Kith, without trickery or lies. Indeed. I feared the worst when the Brenthies failed to return with the beast. We've no choice. Despite the odds, we'll attack without either's strength. If this is to be our last stand, we must prepare ourselves, either for victory or for sacrifice. Lest Margaret forsake us for our failures. You've earned the right to Fire Shrine, with the talk of the Ether Flame. But we cannot join you as yet, in facing the Defiler.
As you like. Watcher, the time does not allow for niceties. Even now, Aethys gains strength from the spire. What progress have you to report? Then they will burn to ash and return to the mud kiln from whence they came. Presently, I shall erupt this volcano, and with it, consume Aethys. I suggest you retreat if you at all value your mortal form. I formed the Rathun to serve, to ward against Kith in order to safeguard Ukaizo. Now they have served me. Their sacrifice is not without honor, as yours, too, will be. Fare thee on, Watcher. My condolences, should you die.
You're certain he wanted us all to come?
Have you ever seen anything so awe-inspiring? Behold the power of my god!
Watcher, I wasn't sure you'd make it. But there is enough of you in me to grasp that you had a better chance than most. Some would say it's because you have a strong soul. Great deeds come easily to one so spiritually blessed. Or have you become great because of what has been thrust upon you? Watcher of Cadnua, Herald of Berith, Hound of Aethys.
Oh my god, you're really, this can't.
I see you, Shoti. I am glad that we could meet, even if it is under quite unpleasant circumstances.
This is really happening, right? Gon, your humble priestess is before you. Please, tell me what you require of me. How do I save more lost souls than I can carry in one lifetime?
I know that you have undertaken a noble mission, but I will tell you what I told the Watcher. You need not fear for the lost souls of this world. As for you, Watcher, why is it you believe you have made it this far? Even after all these years, countless generations, we don't know either. The brightest souls can burn out in an instant, and even a pathetic, feeble spark can grow brilliant in time. But you have come a great distance for answers. What would you ask of me, Watcher? No, not now. Not in your lifetime. Perhaps in 100 generations, the books and tongues of Kith will forget the name Aethys. A penance paid in full, noted by none. That would be my absolution.
You're just gonna wait for us to forget what you did? That's your penance?
Adair stands in a broad posture, the one he so often takes when placing himself between friend and foe. His neck is sharply craned to meet the unblinking stare of his god.
How about you start by giving back the souls you took? Or maybe by apologizing to every one of your followers, especially the ones that died for you.
The molten rock of Magren's teeth gleams bright orange in his eyes, and he looks like a man overtaken by a furious spirit.
You owe this Watcher here. You owe my brother Woden, and every last one of us that ever followed you. And you owe me. I never asked you for much, but you owe me better than what you're given.
I cannot atone for my mistakes with words alone, Adair. I know this now. It is why I began this journey and why I must move on. But you have come here for other answers. Why I have returned. Where I am going. Am I answering to you, or to Bereth? It seems someone else needs to know. One who has held me to the flames once before. Margaret fears what I will do, just as she feared what I would do in the Deerwood. But this time, there is no power on Aeora or in all of hell to stop me. Understand that what I'm saying is neither a boast nor a challenge. It is the clearest statement of truth I can give you, give Bereth, in the hopes of dissuading you from taking actions that may harm others. Force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another. It seems my sister does not like the sound of that. I want to return the gods to our original purpose, and to allow mortals to worship us, or ignore us, for what we are, not what we pretend to be.
Shodi gasps sharply, for once too stunned to blurt out a response. Her eyes are wild, with too much white showing, when she glances from Aethys to you.
Whatever you're doing, there's gotta be a better way.
When I entered Widewin, I did so with the intention of illuminating the history of Anguith. I wanted to show all the nations of the Eastern Reach the machines we had used to create ourselves. How we had hidden our true nature from mortals for millennia. But even if I had succeeded, my words would have been easy to deny. Belief creates the foundation upon which a mind's reality is built. Some minds can never let go of that foundation. They would rather hold tight to the world in their mind than accept what they're being told. I have not come to speak, to convince, to plead, but to break the foundations of belief itself, to extinguish the lights that maintain the illusions we have created. We took on the mantles of gods from legends, and in so doing, made real what was false, crafted truth from fiction. The time has come for a new covenant between gods and mortals. One forged in the light of truth and understanding between our kind. I will leave this place and go to the lost city the Huana call Ukaizo. It is there that all souls pass through the machines of the gods, where all souls pass into the beyond before beginning their next life. When I reach that place, I will find our great machines and tear them to pieces. I will smash the great wheel until the lights of hell all gutter and die. And when my work is done, I will leave this world forever.
More destruction. You're tearing the whole world apart because you can't make peace among yourselves.
Adair, There will never be peace among mortals, so long as they are unwittingly manipulated by the gods. The divine enslavement that Woodica reveres perpetuates ignorance, chaos, and violence across the world. I only wish to destroy the darkness that surrounds the gods, that you may better see us for what we are. I'm surprised Margaret is reacting this way. I would have thought she would appreciate a trial of this magnitude, one that tests us all. Both gods and mortals alike rely on the wheel. We depend on it for the souls that give us power. Mortals depend on it for the lives of future generations. Breaking it will force all of us to face the truth. We will fail together or move forward together. Either ending is preferable to the cycle we still find ourselves in.
Dawn, wait! Before it's too late, you gotta take the souls I harvested for you.
They are not for me to take. Shodi, you are their guardian now. You are their protector. You have taken responsibility for them, and only you can decide their fate. Once again, the gods have put you in a precarious position, Watcher. Considering all the troubles I have put you through, the least I can do is protect you from the wrath Margaret has intended for me. Perhaps I will have another opportunity to make amends. Until then, this will have to do. Brace yourself, Watcher.
Guys and gals, we are literally being touched by the hand of God right now.
Despite herself, Shodi squeals. Trembling, she sways on her feet as if she might faint.
Hey, Aethys, we're not done here. You and I, we're not finished. Don't think you can just move me aside like all the rest. Maybe you can't be stopped. But on behalf of everyone you've trampled, betrayed, and ignored, I'll be coming to see you again.
Adair spits. In the surging heat, it never reaches the ground.
Perhaps we will meet again, Adair. Until then, take care of the Watcher.
Aethys's great hand floats away from the luminous Audra pillar. As it pulls back, for a brief moment you see a golden tether flash into existence between the pillar and the great Titan's back. When the Audra fingers gently cradle you, there is first a sensation of warmth, but it is followed by a harsh splitting of consciousness. Your awareness vacillates erratically between the physical world and the spiritual dimension of Aethys's body. Your soul glides amid the many trapped with Aethys. As your brilliant form passes by them, they call and reach out for help. Below Aethys's body, the volcano erupts. Molten rock rushes over the great Audra body, but does not slow its movement. Rathun rush to higher ground, but cannot outpace the lava, which overwhelms and consumes them as it rises. Your attention returns to the heart of Aethys's body. Deep within the whirling masses of souls, you again sense your own presence, the fragment that was taken from you. This time, you reach out to it as it reaches out to you. You meet somewhere in the great mass of Audra, the rest of the souls fading at the edge of your awareness. We are together again. Are you ready to be together again? Are you certain? Since we've parted, you've become someone else, and I have become myself. When we join, we won't be ourselves anymore. Your senses yank back to your body, still in Aethys's hand. There is light, sunlight. He has emerged from Ashen Maw, the rim of the volcano and the great keep of the Rathun collapsing behind him. The Audra is barely visible through the thick lava covering his body. And still, he moves. The ocean is gone, water sucked away, leaving only the bare seabed glistening in an ominous silence. You summon the strength to turn your head. Through the cracks in the great god's fingers, you see a wall of water, taller than Nekataka, taller than Aethys, as tall as the moon. It comes with the rumbling of a terrible stampede. The wave slams into Aethys. His hand closes, protecting you from the devastation. Somewhere in your mind, you hear Andra screaming. You are back inside him. Back with yourself. Are you still the same Watcher who returned the lost souls of the Deerwood to their intended bodies? A light shines within the soul as it observes you, waiting. I am. Good. Then this should be easy. You feel cool air, seawater. The back of your mind pulls your attention back to your body. Aethys stands amid the now calm waves. Kraken futilely clinging to his limbs as he gingerly sets down your ship with one hand. He carefully opens his other, setting your body on the deck. As your head comes to rest, your vision rocks forward, pulled back into the Audra, back to your soul. Some of us is lost to him. Fragments and the empty spaces between them. They will always be a part of him. But we are still us. And it's time for us to go. Together. The soul rushes toward you, flying into you with ferocious speed. You are thrust back through the Audra, out of the palm of Aethys' hand, back into your body. You can feel the sensation of your skin, the warmth of the Audra, but you are not fully in control. The other soul struggles to reach the surface of the body's consciousness, but you pull it down. Entangled, you float in a dark, boundless expanse. The more you fight each other, the closer you become, until somehow, impossibly, every piece of you is touching every piece of them. Through the distant window of your eyes, you see Aethys push slowly against your ship. Though his touch is light, it is still the touch of a god. The ship lurches, rapidly tearing across the water southward. His hand pulls away from your ship's wake, his body straightening, towering overhead. The volcanic rock, now cooled and gently steaming, sloughs from his body as he moves. The Audra beneath is still immaculate, unmarred. He watches you depart, and you hear a voice in your mind as you sink deeper into the blackness of sleep.
Tell them what you have witnessed, Watcher. Tell them what is coming.
The windows of your eyes retreat into the distance. The fragment of your soul is so close to you in the darkness that you can't tell if its thoughts are separate from your own. Aethys is going to Ukaizo? He's going to stop the wheel? Aethys is going to Ukaizo. Aethys is going to Ukaizo. The words repeat in your mind until they become an incessant, meaningless mantra. Involuntary meditation in the emptiness of your unconscious. When the words finally dissolve and become part of the darkness, you see a pinpoint of light. You no longer sense the other soul. No longer sense the person you were before Aethys touched you. You swim toward the light. As you come closer, the light becomes two blurry spots of radiance. You settle in behind your eyes and feel your lips already moving, mumbling. Around your body you sense familiar scents and sounds, voices raised in shock and alarm. You take control of your mouth, opening it wide and drawing a great breath.
simply going to wait? What if he never wakes up?
Are those frilled collars stuffed in your ears? If the Watcher's mumblings are right, then Aethys is marching on Ukaizo. We have to move. He's seizing power from the very gods who betrayed him. Destroying the wheel to make sure they never come back. It's a coup, and we have to muster the strength to stop it.
The unraveling of Kohopa from Tangaloa is our greatest test from the gods, I say. We must live to deserve the world they make for us.
Ah, you're awake. Welcome back, Watcher. Your arrival in the wake of the eruption at Magrin's Teeth was alarming. You shared a great deal while you were asleep. We aren't sure what to make of it.
You know, every time you come back from the dead, it's a little less exciting. You gotta space it out more.
Join our talks, I say. Rational discussion will gust away the ominous smoke rising from Ashen Maw. For what else did the gods place us here? We who have ships and resources enough to make a difference.
What we need is brass. Rawatai has ships and cannons aplenty, but the only way I'm sending them is if...
Ships have formed a blockade around Queen's Berth. Their commander demands parley with Serpent's Crown.
What? But what about our ships? I must get a message through to the captains.
For what do our enemies paint a target on their hull? This is a stirring bid for my attention. Send word to my water shapers to drain the sea around the flagship. I would parley on better terms than this.
My queen! They fly the colors of pirates! The Principi are...
Well, what have we here?
Forgive me, lovesome, but it looks like you're having a party. A rather fine one to which you didn't invite me.
You painted vagrants are a plague on my tribes. Why should I not hang you from the walls of my garden?
You should be asking yourself how they got in here in the first place.
Oh, I do love when they squabble. But I'm here for neither pleasantries nor entertainment. We've bigger fish to fry. Or should I say gods? Now everyone just calm down. I promise we won't fire on you at this time. Unless firstly provoked. That is, until once we've safely absconded from the city back to the high seas. Then all bets are off again, aye?
Yes, well, if you have a point, pirate, I suggest you reach it quickly.
We're supposed to take a bunch of pirates at their word?
Right you are. However, I'm here because I've got questions, ones that can't wait. And the lovesome Watcher's the only one likely to answer them nicely. Ukaizo? What's the lost city of gold got to do with a god on a rampage? Well, fuck if that doesn't put things into perspective. But what's that even mean in the long run? Folks who die won't be coming back again. This is all dark and foreboding sounding. But what's it mean for my soul? I mean, I like the idea of pirating throughout the Great Beyond as much as the next gal. But if, say, I got no awareness after I die, does it even matter what happens?
Ak, of course you have no interest past that of your eyes and your stomach. Let us speak now of what can be done. Must be done. Watcher, you know best of all of us what our options are.
If he's heading to Ukaizo, then the time for speeches is over. We have to act quickly. Defending Ukaizo is the highest priority. Our ships are fast and well-equipped. We could sail to the edge of Andra's mortar. See if Aethys' passage opens a way through the storms. Of course, finding Ukaizo once we're through is another matter. That's so. You just might be able to save us.
We speak of collectively sailing for Andra's Mortar, but this crown will not support any plan that involves a single outsider ship landing on the shores of Ukaizo. It is for this moment that the gods test me. Anyone who seeks to cross Andra's Mortar will learn that the gates of Ukaizo are the end of compromise with the Huana.
I think I'm getting the gist of it now. While these witless princocks go at each other's throats, we Principi will cut through the storms and plunder the City of Gold. Whatever Aothas is seeking in those ruins, we'll find it, and then we'll sell it to the highest bidder. That, or me and mine will have front row seats to the end of the world.
If the Huana cannot take back our beginning, then our end fast approaches. The gods will judge us by our devotion to Ukaizo.
Are you going to guard it as closely as you've guarded your palace today? Ukaizo was yours once, and you lost it. Meanwhile, the storms that cover Andra's Mortar plague Rauatai too. We will help the Watchers stop Aothas, but we will not leave our country's future in soft hands. We hope the Watcher agrees.
Watcher, there are two kinds of people in the Deadfire. Those who have called it home since time immemorial, and opportunists. With Ukaizo under our control, the Huana would restore order as it has not been seen since the days of our ancestors.
Order. And the only question is whether it will be the order of ignorance and tradition, or else of conquest. The secrets to be found in Ukaizo could elevate us all beyond the telling. I will not relinquish that dream so easily.
Watcher, I say the time to play at freelancing is at an end. Any of us could get you to Ukaizo, but only one of us will stand by your side.
Let's speak, Watcher, while we have the chance.